Maybe I have to change cleansers? Or who knows. Anyhow, just trying to get everything squared away for this week, including a proper pedal for my machine, because it didn't like the off-market unit that I had gotten prior. I still can't believe it would register a foot, similar to a hand, this camera. But I'm still due for a pedi and mani on Friday, so I'm getting everything squared away for that too. I finished the couple days of training they required, so the dust should be settling soon. Here are Candy and Blondie. Sorry, I jumbled up the order. You see them. Blondie, Candy. Kitties! My roommate and the staff are working on the dishes together since it is her day to do the dishes. On my day, I simply ran the load. Period. End of story. It's much less of a scorcher today than it was yesterday. It was a serious scorcher. And I got some blueberry, blackberry wine, since I'm more of a dessert wine sort of chick. And the semi-sweet was pretty good as well as far as red wine. I just have to do some research on those, so I get the right ones, the ones that suit my tastes. My great friend Rochelle, she prefers drier wines on the other hand. I only could tolerate a dry wine if cooking with it, because dry wines have always been too bitter for me, if that makes sense. I'm just lost in thought and, quite frankly, feeling parched. And at the same time, can't bring myself to brew some tea either. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Oh boy. So many people I'm wondering about today. I was thinking about an old friend and staff. Like, God, I should check in on her. I'll call her Viola, I guess. Yeah, Viola. I gotta check in on Viola. And then life would get in the way. And then finally, she checked in today to see how things were going. I'll have to update her about the Amazon transfer. I'll be honest. Right now, even though I'm trying to suspend any final verdict, the transfer process had proven to be a fucking joke due to poor communication. And despite that, I have needed a change of schedule to allow for more flexibility, too. However, there are some concerns about proximity to where I will soon be moving off to. It was supposed to be closer, so I thought, but it turns out to be a little bit further than I had expected. And some changes are coming to this particular facility, which have begged some questions about long-term sustainability. But I will wait till the 7th next month before I give any final verdict. You know, it would be cool if they could do facility trial runs before associates accept transfers, or if they apply for transfers. But then again, how much would those cost? Even though they probably would have the money for it. Would it be wise? Or food for thought? Well, that escalated quickly, but thank God I still have some time to keep packing up and better hurry up since the months have been zipping so rapidly by. Anyways, apart from some other awkward, weird shit from behind the scenes, which, of course, that's for the written post, of course. But needless to say, gotta work some shit out. But I'll tell the full story after the dust settles there. But I'm working on that too. It sure seems that there's a lot that I've been having to work on, even while bringing my end goal with my particular partner figure, whom I've been using the name DJ to refer to for privacy's sake, or sometimes AJ, since you can't really be too careful. But one of these days, very soon, I promise to have him here next to me, and in a agreed on vlog post. So that's quite a lot being birthed here. Sure, everyone's comfort levels are different, and also should not be treated like a zero-sum game, as mine often was throughout life. Treated as zero-sum, and sometimes worse, negative-sum. I only found out about the terms positive-sum and negative-sum after looking them up last night. So I have to do more research on those terms too, in addition to everything else I gotta check in on. But anyway, I'm getting all appointments squared off for next month. And with everything else too, in the meantime. And even after that particular partner is next to me during a vlog post, I definitely intend to continue this series too. I mean,
bye, Laura. Have a good day.
You too. If he hasn't already come across this already.
Are you working?
Where was I? Yeah, as I was saying, just because the old story, if you will, caused a shitload of damage and trauma, it doesn't mean that my partner in question hasn't still stumbled across all this. He probably will if he hasn't already, but it's my intent that he directly ask about it. Things like, is this a place where you share and process? Things like that, with the intent that he understands that this isn't the place where we throw people or things under the bus. And calling out somebody's bad behavior if somebody's wronged you or somebody you know isn't the same thing as just flat out throwing somebody under the bus. Because this isn't a place where we send any hate, harassment, or harm to any parties involved, as you know, just so that's clear. This is the place where we discuss a little bit of everything that hopefully is just as important to you as it is to me. Well, ideally, yes. Or, at the very least, you're curious about it and would like to learn differing perspectives on matters that might be considered off the beaten path, to say the very least. And for more matters than just the art of bringing our desires and goals to manifestation on purpose, which is what the law of assumption is for and how it's supposed to be used. Anyway, that should be all for now, and maybe I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if it's gonna let me prop my legs up and show off my pedicure now that I got it done this morning, but I'll try. 'Cause last time, when I even showed one sole, it seemed to think of it as a fist. But it isn't. Crazy, right? Anyhow, I'm excited to show off the results because even though it's the classic, timeless French... Whoa, how the hell am I gonna make this? My God. There we are. Well, oops. Jeez. Come on. There we go. God. But now it's not where I need it to be. Man. Man, I was trying to do a different setup by sitting on the chair. Man, damn it. Directly on the porch it is, I suppose. Good Lord. But anyway, here we are. Damn it. Oh boy. Here we are again. Good Lord. Is it going to let me show them off? Or is it going to assume that my soles are once again another fist? No, it's not doing it in this mode. Thank God, but here we are. French pedicure, because I was going to do that the other time. But it's classic, timeless, and goes with everything. My God! What is with that camera? It seems to register even my bare feet and curled over as a fist, but it's not. I wonder if I couldn't change that in my settings. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Alright, so apparently it was probably something called a air gesture, so hopefully it will cooperate with me now that I fixed that. But here we go. Yes, perfect. This porch is kind of hot, though. I just wish it weren't so hot. I mean, I could barely even put my damn hands on it, let alone sit on it. Thank God I have some clothing to protect me, but here we go. Finally. The only small, tiny thing that was missing is that they forgot to do the massage portion before you polish. Oops! But I didn't think to ask since I assumed that they were going to. Because that's how I was taught when I went to nail school, you see. But still, this time I went for the classic, timeless French mani and pedi. I mean, you can't go wrong. Goes with everything. And is versatile too. I mean, what could be better than a fresh pedicure every 6 weeks? I mean, come on. I really would prefer a different setup so I could show off both as well. And I still would like to try the selfie stick when doing shit like this until I'm able to do a proper setup to really show off these kinds of things when I have a fresh pedicure, or maybe showing off a new pair of sandals if I feel like it, because after all, we're here to discuss a little bit of everything, right? Even when it does wax political or NSFW. So, what would be a lot better than that? Yeah, damn, it's hot. Outside it is, but at least we're not freezing like ice cubes. Because I'd like to be able to have the legs up a little higher, but not up too high. You know what I mean? So that I could still have the rest of myself in view, top to foot. You know how they have it in the professional photos and all. And I would meet a pretty cool opportunity with another like-minded person. I mean, what could be cooler than that? Despite some weird, clunky little hiccups. But still, everything seems to be working out once again. There's just a couple of other things. Now that I fixed the setting. Jeez. Well, here we are on this beautiful, basically summer day. The sun's beaming down. So it does make it kind of hotter than it is. Really is. Plus, the porch is painted with a dark stain or something like that, but it appears to be plastic or something. Now, one tip, if you're getting a pedi, you gotta bring sandals with you so you can let your feet air out properly, whether or not you're wearing any kind of polish. That part's important. Very important. Sandals like these are what I bring to mind because I usually do wear polish after a pedicure. But it's not obligatory. Anyways, whew, I need to put myself in the shade. Hang on. So, we have an update. That escalated quickly. Moving day is now the 20th of next month, so I gotta hurry up and sew through what I can and pack whatever I can't sew through, and then some. In fact, there's been quite a lot of shit that I never really got to unpack even when I moved here, like a couple of years ago. The time just flew like that. I'm gonna have to get the next other waxes squared up for next month. Because you gotta keep up with that sort of thing. In fact, the hairs are already kind of starting to come back because of the varying stages of growth. I forgot the technical names off the top of my head, but body hair tends to grow at differing cycles, so that's why you have to keep up with the waxing every 6 weeks or so, or possibly every month, depending on a few factors. My God. Anyhow, so we got the main things taken care of, despite some hiccups, which are a story for another day. And at least one or two of which definitely would render revision necessary, in my book. And I'll be back with you next week if I don't come back tomorrow.